In the previous chapter, humanity witnessed its first tragedy of the human history. A brother rose against his brother, and the earth was stained with innocent blood for the very first time. Cain was marked and cast away, and Adam and Eve were left with broken hearts. Their world, once vibrant in Eden, now echoed with grief, exile, and silence. But when all seems lost, God still writes. Pain does not cancel his purpose, and when his breath stirs again, life returns. Even in sorrow, hope is born. The days passed in silence. Adam and Eve, once the first to walk in a perfect garden, now walked among thorns and tears. They had lost one son to death, the other to exile. But from the depth of mourning came a whisper of grace. Eve conceived once more and bore a son. She named him Seth, for God has granted me another child in place of Abel. Seth was more than a replacement. He was a sign that God had not forgotten. In his cries, Eve found healing. In his eyes, Adam saw the continuation of a promise that death could not steal. Seth had a son, Enosh, and in his time a quiet shift occurred. The people, once silent before the heavens, began to call on the name of the Lord. It was the first public spark of worship since Eden, a yearning for connection, for forgiveness, for guidance. Prayer rose not from religion, but from relationship. The cry of a broken world met the patience of a holy God. In that moment, earth remembered its creator, and heaven listened. Time flowed on. Adam lived for centuries and saw his descendants multiply. Generation after generation passed like the wind. Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, names that filled the scroll of history. Each life a breath, each death a reminder. This was the book of the generations of Adam. They lived, they bore children, and they returned to the dust. Each name spoke of legacy, but not all sought the face of the Lord. Some lived by duty, others by desire. Few walked in the fear of God. But in every era, there was always one who still believed. Then came Enoch, the seventh from Adam. In a world where death reigned, he chose something different. Enoch walked with God, not just in words, but in life. His intimacy with the divine was so deep that he did not die. One day, he simply was no more, for God took him. Enoch's story was not marked by deeds, but by direction. He did not conquer cities or build altars. He simply walked daily, humbly, with God, and heaven received him. As generations increased, so did wickedness. The sons of man multiplied, but not in righteousness. Violence filled the land. Hearts grew cold. The image of God blurred under greed, pride, and corruption. The world that once sang in Eden now groaned under the weight of sin. When humanity silences the voice of God, darkness finds its way in. What was meant to reflect heaven began to mirror hell, and the heart of God grieved. But even in the shadows, grace moved. Lamech, descendant of Enoch, fathered a son. He named him Noah, saying, "He will comfort us in the labor and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord has cursed." His birth was not coincidence, it was prophecy. Noah was not just a child, he was a divine response, a light planted for the days to come. Through him, God whispered, "I'm still here." From Adam to Seth, from Enoch to Noah, God wove a line of hope through flawed generations. While many forgot him, a few remembered. And though the flood loomed on the horizon, so did redemption. To walk with God is to carry light in a world darkened by choice. And through every faithful soul, the promise moves forward until it reaches you. The story doesn't end here. A storm is rising, but so is a man called to build the impossible. Would you have believed in rain in an almost endless storm before the sky had ever opened? If this journey moved you, smash the like button, subscribe, and activate the bell so YouTube knows you walk with us. Around here, we don't just watch stories, we awaken them. And this is just the beginning.